Hi sunshines! This week we are going to be making a simple, adorable desktop wallpaper that will nicely display our folders, shortcuts, or basically anything that you have on your desktop. We'll be using Canva because it is the easiest to use and a portion of the stuff on there are free to use. They do have a premium plan that you can upgrade to, but since I know not everyone can afford another subscription plan, we'll be sticking to the free elements on Canva. So first, I created our document, which will need to be the size of your desktop. A lot of standard desktops will work with 1920 by 1080. If you're using this for anything else, you'll need to make it the correct size for the device you're going to be using it on, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be using 1920 by 1080. First, you'll need to think of what kind of theme you want for your wallpaper. Today, I'll be making a bakery because my computer setup is decorated with all types of breads, croissants, cinnamon rolls. That's the vibes we're gonna go for. We are going to change the background color, and I wanted to go with a lighter color, so you'll click this icon up here. I already had an idea of what colors I wanted, pretty much sticking to browns, beiges, very neutral colors to go with my theme. Just keep in mind, if you use the colors I use, they may look a little different on your monitor as a lot of monitors display colors differently, so there could be slight variation, but you can always pause and grab the codes for these colors over here. Now that we have our background color, we're going to work on the bakery stand. For the base of it, we're going to be using shapes in the Elements tab and then working with the Shapes section. To create the top of the table, we will be using the trapezoid up shape. You'll see it pop up here. I didn't have exact measurements. I kind of just eyeballed how big I wanted everything. So you'll see throughout this tutorial that I'll be adjusting how much space everything takes up. I am going to change the color to this pastel orange. I think that's what they call it on Canva, and that will be the top portion of our table. Next, we are going to create the front of the table. So we are going to use this rounded square, and I'm just going to make it a little larger and line it up with our first shape that we created. And again, I'm going to change the color to match the top of the table. You'll see here that they save the colors in our workspace, so you can easily reuse the same colors throughout your wallpaper, so that's very convenient. Since the two shapes blend in with each other, I'm going to use a third shape to break it up a little. We're going to use the square shape to do that, and we're just going to stretch it out a little bit to make it longer and then make it a little thinner so that it's like a border for the table. Again, we're just getting the shape of the table for now, but we can readjust the size later if needed. I'm going to change it to a darker brown, and here's the code for that brown that I'll be using. Now, we're going to create the stand for the canopy, and that consists of two poles, one on each side. To do that, we will use the square shape and make it so that the height is longer and the width is smaller to resemble a pole. Once you have it the way you want it, you'll need another one for the other side. So we are going to do the keyboard shortcut Control-C to copy it and Control-V to paste it. You'll also see if you right click it, you can manually copy and paste as well. You want the poles to line up so you can see these purple lines that appear while you're moving objects. This will show you if it's aligned or not, which is super helpful. I want the poles to sit behind the top of the table, so we're going to right click and go to layer and then select send backward. This is going to put it behind the top of our table. Next, we're going to create a canopy for our table. This part will be the only tricky part to do because we are essentially making it from scratch using only the shapes we have provided. I'm going to use the arch down shape, and we're going to make it smaller because we don't need it to be that big. So just drag the corner of it and make it smaller, and then we're going to put it over here above the pole that we made earlier. I am going to change the color of it just so it doesn't get so lost. And here's the color I used. It's just a slightly darker brown. The second part of this piece is the exact same shape, so I'm just going to Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste again, and we are going to make this piece a little longer, so we are just going to drag the shape upwards to get that length. I am going to move it on top of the last shape we created, but this time I'm going to rotate it just a little bit and get a nice connecting angle. It's going to look a little odd at the moment, but once we add more pieces of the canopy, it will all come together. To make it easier for me to copy the pieces, I'm going to group them together. So to do that, you'll just click the first shape and then hold down Shift while clicking on the second shape. This will select both shapes at the same time, and you'll see here that a group option pops up, and you'll just click that to group it together. This makes it one piece, so we can easily copy and paste multiple pieces. You can see here that you can click the pieces separately if you wanted to alter them in any way, but we want it as a whole piece, so we're going to click within this purple box to select it as one piece. Again, we're going to Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and then move it over right next to it and try to line it up the best we can. I think I want to change it to a different color to pop more, so I'm going to change it to this color to match our table. Now we're going to rinse and repeat. Copy and paste the dark brown shape again and move it next to our second piece and line it up. For the other side of the canopy, we're going to do the same thing, but just change the direction of the canopy pieces. So I'm going to copy and paste this piece again. I'm going to hit ungroup so that I can rotate the top piece in the other direction. You'll see the two circling arrows icon that appears at the bottom of the shape. You'll click on this icon and drag the piece in the direction you need it to be, and then we're going to overlap this piece back onto that bottom piece. It's okay if it isn't perfect. You won't be able to notice it too much, but you'll just select both pieces again and group it back together and then drag it to the right side of the stand. From here, it's the same process as the other side, just copy and paste the shape and change the color. If you find it hard to place them close to each other with your mouse, you can get it as close as you can and then use the arrows on your keyboard to inch it over for a more precise move. That works as well. Once you have the same amount of pieces as the other side, we're going to add in this fourth piece on each side just to fill the canopy in a little more. Just copy and paste that pastel orange piece for each side and scoot it close to the dark brown pieces. Now we are going to make the centerpiece. We are going to copy the dark brown piece one more time, but this time we're going to ungroup it, remove the top piece off, and just extend the bottom so that it is long enough to match the pieces around it. You'll see that depending on how big you made your pieces, there could be a gap showing. So to fix that, we're going to make the centerpiece just a little bigger. So extend the sides just a little bit. Then we are going to select the 4 pieces on the right. When selecting multiple pieces, you want to click and drag out. You'll see here that it creates a purple square. Whatever you put in that purple square, it will select it for you. So we're going to use that method to select the 4 rightmost pieces of our canopy so we can change the size of them all at the same time. You'll see I selected all 4 of them, and now I'm going to use this arrow to extend and make the pieces thicker in size to cover up that gap. Then you'll do the same for the other side as well. Select all 4 pieces and use the arrow to extend them to the center to cover that gap. So that was probably the most complex thing we will do in this tutorial. So from here, it should be smooth sailing. We are going to now create a cover for the top of the canopy so you don't see this part. For that, I'm going to use the rounded square, and you'll see that it is a little big, so we're going to make it smaller to fit the top of our canopy and stretch it just so it's a little longer as well. So that's perfect. We're gonna change the color of it, but that's totally up to you if that's what you want to do. And that's it for the bakery stand. Now for the tables on the side, I'm going to use this oblong shape again. I'm just going to bring it over and extend it out so it looks like it goes off the screen, and then change the color to match the bakery stand, so pastel orange. Now for the top of the table, we're going to be using the same shapes as before to make it easier on us. So I'm going to copy the same piece we used for the top portion of the canopy and paste it so I can use it for my table. Just line it up the best you can, and that's it. We're going to keep it pretty simple. For the other table, we're going to just copy and paste and move it over to the other side. You'll just have to adjust the pieces so that they're on the opposite side now. Once you have that done, you can now go ahead and make the shelves. Again, we're reusing the same shapes to make our lives simpler, so copy the top piece of the table we made and paste. We just move it up, and that's pretty much it. I'm thinking I want 2 shelves on both sides, so I'm going to copy and paste it again to create my second shelf above the first. On the other side, you'll just do the same thing and try to align those shelves with the first set of shelves you made. So you'll see I have my 2 shelves on this side, and now the other side along with my tables and bakery stand, and that's perfect for now. I think I want to add a bit of a shadow underneath just to create some kind of depth to it. So I'm going to use the rounded square and drag it down to the bottom of the table and extend it just a little bit. I'm going to also change the color to the regular brown we've been using and change the transparency of it so it's more like a shadow. So when you click on the shape, there will be a bar that pops up at the top, and there will be a transparency icon that you can click and change. I made the transparency around 40 to 41 for this example, and you want it to be behind the table. So we're going to right click the shape, go to layer, and click send backwards. Now our shadow is underneath. You'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other table, just copy and paste, send it backwards. We're gonna do it one more time for the bakery stand and just extend that shape out so it's a little larger to fit the stand. Go ahead and send it backwards. And that's it. The only thing left to do is to add some details or decorations to our wallpaper. And the reason why I chose Canva is because they have so many cute options for stickers or graphics that we can use. So you'll see here on the sidebar, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a section that says starred. In this section, you'll see everything I saved, so I think I'm going to use this little guy because he is so adorable. I think he'll be my little mascot for my bakery or our employee. I want the balloons to go on the other side of him, so I'm going to hit the flip button that's here and flip it horizontal. And that's perfect, exactly what I wanted. And we're just going to make him a little smaller to fit the desk here. I think I need to extend the desk just a little more so he has some space to sit behind the counter. To make him go behind the counter, we're going to click on him, go to layer, and send backwards. You'll see here that he only went behind one item, so you'll click send backwards again to put him behind both pieces. To go around this, you can just select send to the back to avoid having to send him backwards multiple times. That's kind of the difference between those two options. I'm also going to adjust these shelves and bring them more forward so that they line up with my desks so that we have more space for icons or desktop shortcuts later on. I do want to add more decorations, so you'll see here I have other options. You can also see a little sneak peek of what my next wallpaper tutorial will be. I'll let you guess what my next theme will be. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you know when the next tutorial is posted. It's going to be even cuter. Here are some bread options I was looking at and deciding if I wanted to add. You could also add these to your bakery to fill it up, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to leave it blank just because I want to show you guys what it looks like when I add folders and icons to my stand. But if you don't have that much stuff on your desktop, feel free to add as much baked goods as your heart desires into these spaces. I think I like these hearts here for my stand, and I'm gonna try to align it the best I can. I do want to change the colors to go with my theme, so the great thing about Canva is that some of these graphics, you're able to customize the colors. So let's say that I want to change the string to white. I can do that for this particular graphic. Or maybe I want different colored hearts. I can change them to similar browns I've been using to stay within my color scheme. That's why I love this so much. Some items are not customizable, but a good portion you can. Like you see here, you can change the color of this bear or the heart balloons if you wanted, but I think I'm gonna keep it as is. I also want to add in this cute heart banner to hang off the bakery stand, so I'm going to change the string to white to match the other banner and change the hearts to brown as well. I'm going to add in one more banner for the other side. It won't line up perfectly, but if I flip it, it fits pretty well with each other, so I'm just going to keep messing with it until I get the result I want. And oh, perfect. Yes, this is good. So now that we have the decor on our stand, the last thing I want to add is a Honey Buns Bakery sign on the front. So I'm going to use the oblong shape to put down here and resize it to fit this space. I already have my logo from a previous project, so you can just add whatever text you want for yours. Since I do have 2 monitors, I think I want to do a slightly different wallpaper for it. So what I'm gonna do is duplicate the page I'm working on. You can do that by clicking the duplicate icon at the top, and I'm just going to remove our little employee and add in some balloons that are similar to the ones that our employee was holding. I'm just going to change the color of the strings to white, and that's it. I want to keep the pop of pink to match the other balloons. I'm just going to move the balloons here, and I think I want them on both sides, so I'm going to copy and paste it and then flip it horizontally so the balloons are facing the other side. And that's it. Oh my gosh, it looks so amazing. It looks so good. I wanted to create a simple wallpaper because the animated ones you can get just bog down my computer because I do a lot of graphic intensive work on my computer. So I prefer to just use simple ones like these that look super cute. Now to save your masterpiece, I'm just going to rename both wallpapers first, so when we download it, it'll already be saved as is. You're going to hit the share button in the upper right hand corner and hit download. I'm saving it as a PNG because that's what works best for me in terms of quality so that it's not blurry, and you can select the pages you want to download from here. I usually download them one by one because if you download them together, they put it in a zip file, and I honestly can't be bothered by that. So I download it separately every time. You can save it to your desktop or create a folder of all the wallpapers you create so that you have them all in one place. If you're unsure how to put it on your desktop, I'll go through that as well. What you're gonna do is right click on your desktop and hit personalize. This will bring up a window where you will want to change the background option to picture because at the moment it is set to solid color. You'll see it change. This is just a generic picture that came with my computer already. So to add our own, we will click the browse button and you will go to wherever you saved your wallpapers. I'm going to do this for both graphics so that they both show up. Right now I'm showing my first monitor, so I want the first one to be the one that has my cute bear employee. So I'm going to right click the correct wallpaper and select set for monitor 1. You could set it for all monitors if you wanted them to all be the same, but I want them to be different, so I'm setting it to monitor 1. So now my wallpaper has the adorable bear in it and my icons fit perfectly on the shelves. I did have to go back and readjust some of the shelves just a tiny bit, like up or down, to fit the icons nicely, as well as the bakery stand tabletop. Just because you can't control where the desktop icons land, so you do have to make little adjustments to the spacing. It only took me like 2 or 3 tries to get it right, so it wasn't too bad at all. Now I want to set my second monitor to the balloons wallpaper. So I'm going to show you guys my second monitor and we'll do that same process. Right click the wallpaper you uploaded and select set for monitor 2, and this is what my second monitor looks like now. This is what both the wallpapers look like on my monitors side by side. I love it so much, and don't forget, like and subscribe so you can see what our next theme is for our wallpaper tutorial. Anyways, as always, I love you guys and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.